Okay, we're back, right? I don't know what you caught about what I said a little bit before I went down, but just to reiterate. So basically, again, this stream, if it's not your jam, if it's not something that you want to be here for, completely understand. We'll be back to regular content, I'm sure, relatively soon. But the reason I'm streaming right now is mainly for company. It may not necessarily be appropriate, especially because I know people are going to say, or at least I have been told already a couple of times, but I have a feeling most people wouldn't stream in times like these. But to me, it kind of takes my mind off it a little bit. And maybe not necessarily takes my mind off it, but it makes me feel better. So I appreciate you being here if you are down for watching. If not, all good as well. Coincidence is how it a coincidence how it's Are You Okay Day. Oh, I didn't even know about that. I'm here for you and really appreciate you telling us about your ruthless grandma. She was ruthless. She was very ruthless. Every day is a day to check in with the bros. True. Big true. If I was a streamer, I would stream it for the sole reason that I think it would be funny if I streamed it. Oh, meme. Just the fact that you can put a smile on my face even with the dark humor. I appreciate. For me, it would make sense due to you living alone, it eases the mind. Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. And I gotta be honest, like, I could spend my time with, like, just one person, like, that's close to me, or, like, a couple of people in a call, or, like, with family. But I feel like this does a lot more for me. Thank you, Kaiju. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is another picture of me and my... Oh, not me. Sorry, I got confused because he's stealing my hairdo. This is a picture of my grandma and my grandfather. Again, probably like 60s, 50s era. You can see with that leopard print dress. My grandfather has the long hair. I smile when I see DZ even when he doesn't want to get fucked. DZ will always be remembered for the fucks he gave and will always smile at the bottom of mayonnaise. At a bottle of mayonnaise. True. This is a pretty sweet picture. I believe I'm sitting just off camera here. Just off camera here. Because this was always my spot. For Christmas, it was always me there, grandma at the head of the table. Or maybe not Christmas, but birthday. This is obviously a birthday cake. Whatever the event was, I was always sitting here. My grandma was always sitting here. And I don't remember how old she would have been here. I would guess 83 or 84. Because you can kind of see that her body started to get a little bit frail here, but this is one of the times where we asked her to smile. And I told you before, like, she hated smiling in photos. She hated taking photos in general. And so we would ask her to smile, and she would just be like, I am smiling. Anyway, we took the photo, and I remember distinctly. Like, this is such a... Like a... This is such a sweet looking photo. Like, you can genuinely see that she's happy to be here. And she was. I know that she was, because she would tell me that she's happy to do this and happy to be there. But I remember, not even a second after the picture was taken, immediate deadpan. Just smiling. I'm done. Just get me the fuck out of here. Oh. She's the best. She was the best. Was this from the same day? No. That's right. My mom bought her... So for a little while she was living with us. They bought this, like... What would you call this? Is this a Lazy Susan or whatever? Like, a couch chair? Like, it's got the whole, like, you can sit up or, like, sit back. Legs up in the air. Like, it's a relaxing chair. A couch. Whatever. But this type of chair, so they bought it for her. A recliner, thank you, that's what I was thinking of. They bought this for her. Thank you, by the way, Liam on, man, I appreciate that. A recliner chair, that's right. Hi, Izzy. How are you holding up? I remember they bought this for her. It was either they bought this for her or they gave it to her because she needed it. And this is just a really sweet picture of her sitting down with a present in hand, probably from a Christmas or a birthday, whatever it was. I don't remember this, to be honest. With Bailey in shot as well. She loved Bailey. I know I've said that a million times today, but she loved that dog. Which is really weird because she did not like any of the other dogs that we had. I put this picture in because, number one, of course it does have my grandma in there, and of course I'm sitting next to her because I'm the favorite. But number two, I swear to God, why do I look like fucking what's his name from the Room? I look like a character from The Room. Look at this. What was this? Why? Yeah, Tommy Wiseau. It just screams Tommy Wiseau to me. Oh, hi, Mark. Said in a really Australian accent. Anyway. I don't remember what this place was, but I remember it was like really posh. And my mom wanted us to go here for some reason. And for some reason we brought Tegan along. So this is the girl that lives with my my mom now. Like they rent out the room to her or something. And she lives in my like former room. And for some reason she showed up. I don't know why. It was Mother's Day. Why was Tegan there for Mother's Day? Anyway, today actually, side note, I went over to, you know, basically be with family today, right? And so she just locks her, to be fair, this is what I would do, but she locks herself in the room. She doesn't like speak to anybody during people coming over. And like, I didn't even fucking know. I didn't even know that she was there. Because for like 3 or 4 hours, I didn't hear a peep coming from her room. And then just suddenly she comes out and she's like, I'm really sorry about your loss to my mom. And my mom's like, it's okay. And then she gives her the most awkward looking hug ever. Like one of those, like if you're a guy and you're hugging a girl, but the girl is not like someone that you're dating, you kind of like do one of those. She gave that hug. And then she looked at me as if she was going to do the same thing. I immediately looked away. And then I think she got awkward and like just went, okay. And then just went back to her room. Thank you, Rosin, man. Thank you. But you can tell in this picture, she did not want to be here. I remember specifically she was not happy the entire day. Like, she didn't even put in an effort to smile. Like, she the entire day, I fucking hated it because she was just constantly complaining. Like, just get me out of here. Is she an incel? Gives me incel vibe. Is Tegan an incel? I mean, yeah, I kind of think she probably is. A girl version of an incel. Well, I guess an incel could be any gender, right? Yeah, not even Mum enjoyed it. Like, she did the whole thing where she just like kind of tried to force everybody to like it, but she didn't want to be there. Like, she was raging. Girl incels are called femcels. So incel is incelibate. Is it involuntarily celibate? Thank you. That's it. Basically, you don't have sex, but like involuntarily. You like, yeah. Anyway, moving on. I swear to you, I am not high in this picture. I swear to you, chat. It's not only the lack of sex thing, it's a culture. Well, yeah, that's... So the main thing, though, is the fact that it's involuntarily celibate. That's what it's named as. But it also has kind of evolved into just like a hatred of the opposite sex, which really sucks. That's why I wouldn't consider myself an incel. Even though I meme all the time about it, especially offline, I wouldn't consider myself an incel. Did you take any drugs from Jason Nash? He would have them if there was anyone to take it from. Wait, meme, who are you talking about? Who was my grandma's favorite? Me. I've talked about this way too many times, but like, I think even Isabel would agree. Like, I was legitimately the favorite. I'm an incel, I'm a virgin. Devine, I believe it. But that's why we love you, man. Rosin, put it this way. My grandma, she kind of had Alzheimer's towards the end. I don't know if she forgot you, Izzy, but she forgot pretty much everyone in the family once. At least once. But she never forgot me. And that's really fucking awesome. Look at the girl next to Tom. Oh, Mariah. Okay. By the way, actually, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because then I would be a massive hypocrite. I'll tell you guys offline. Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. She forgot you a few times. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad that she had to go through that though. I had a very special relationship with Teta though, with my grandma. So these are all family friends. So obviously my grandma, my mom, me, Tom. I think Isabel's the one taking the photo, which is why it's so blurry. But yeah, everybody else is a family friend. And she did... See, this is the thing about my grandma. Like, she kind of warms to people after a little while. She hated all of these people. Like, behind their backs. Or, like, if it was just me and her, and I was taking her home, for example. Like, I'm carrying... Well, not carrying, but, like, holding her arm to take her to the... to her room in the home. She would constantly complain about them, call them bitches. But... you can kind of tell... she liked them. Like, when she's there, she appreciated them. She appreciated that they were all very loving and nice and friendly. And she had jokes with a lot of them as well. And I feel like the fact that she was commemorated pretty much every single year during a birthday, or like, not revered, but like respected, every time they came over, they really, really showed her a lot of respect, in my opinion, to her face anyway. I think she appreciated that. Yeah, her favorite word was bitch, and she would love telling people to shut up. So like, one of her catchphrases was, "Oh, shut up." So she would say that to my mom all the time. Like, if she had enough of your shit, "Oh, shut up." Oh. You can tell that she's had enough of this shit. This is a who shut up moment right here. Like, who the fuck is this person sitting next to me? What do they want from me? Get them out of my face right now. Oh. She does not want to be there. Oh, fucking hell. This is Izzy and my grandma in her room at the home. And you can tell that she really loved Izzy. Even if I was the favorite. I know that it's not a competition or anything, but I would honestly say that she really cherished me and Izzy more than anyone else in the family. Like, she was very family oriented. She was very family focused, in my opinion. Because we have such a big family, she would always be on the phone to her son, who was my Uncle John was kind of estranged from the family, but she always kept track of him. She always connected with him. I said it earlier, but she would go as far to, like, make excuses for him in a way. Allow him to take advantage of her, which is something I really don't appreciate about him. But that's another story for another time. The fact is, like, she really, really cherished family. But she had problems with a lot of people in the family. A lot of people in my family are very, like, focused on image, because that's what the culture of this family is. It's like, we were essentially the head family because my grandma was the oldest. My grandfather was the oldest in his side of the family as well. And image was very important. And because certain people didn't really uphold to that image, she had problems with them. I told you already, she had problems with my mom on many an occasion. But no matter how bad I was, no matter, like, how much of a disappointment I was, Izzy could do no wrong as well. But yeah, she always cherished us, and that's pretty special. Hello, Hupe June, by the way. I didn't actually say hello. It's her son she's got a soft spot for, after all. Well, that's true, and he's the baby boy of, like, that era of the family. But, yeah, he's estranged for a reason. All the family in Brisbane are forcing me to visit them, just so they look like they are family oriented. Who do you have to visit? I assume you've either already spoken with, visited, or are visiting Labib. But who else do you have to see? This was a very uncomfortable Christmas for me. I'm gonna make a really mean joke about my grandma here, but she looks like, did you guys ever watch that show with, oh fuck, what's that show called? Hold on. H3H3, like, parodied it. What's it called? I don't even know how to explain it. The Addams Family. Was it The Addams Family? This guy. To me, and I know this is really cruel, but it's true. she kind of looks like him in this particular picture. And it's because she's really sick in this moment. And this is one of those Christmases that I was explaining before, where she was so different. She was obviously ill, and she needed help. And this is kind of where, in all honesty, and this is one of... I don't think it's necessarily a regret, but it's certainly why I find talking about this easier than it should be. This is kind of where, as much as I had a really strong relationship throughout her entire life, I didn't really connect with her as much because she was almost gone at this point. Even though she lived for years after this, like this is maybe 5 years ago. Yeah, like I didn't really see her as much as I used to, because life moves on, and she was in a home and I was focusing on work and Twitch and girlfriend and living and rent, and not only all of that, but just in general, like it was just uncomfortable and hard for me to like see her like that, because this is the person who raised me in a lot of ways, for ways that I've explained earlier in the stream. Like, it was just very difficult for me to see someone that I love like that. Yeah, that's exactly right, Izzy. Like, this picture of Teta makes me uncomfortable because it doesn't look like how I envision my grandma in my head. And whenever I see my grandma in person, it's just never, like, it's almost like a different person. Is there a story to this picture, Izzy? Otherwise, I'm gonna move on. It's pretty cool that you guys tended to go out like a girl side of the family type of thing. Why the fuck did I look like that? Priorities. You can see Isabella's priorities. I think this picture is important because, number one, that's a big fucking dog. And number two, whenever I was a kid, I was always told stories of, like, I told this yesterday, I think. I told this yesterday, but... Okay, quick story time. I'll retell it. Lebanese Arabic and Egyptian Arabic are very, very similar in a lot of ways, but some words are different. One story that I was told, when my grandma first married my grandfather, is they were living together, and my grandfather was like, and this is that type of era you have to understand, but this is the type of language they used. My grandfather was like, "Woman, bring me the kettle," because he wanted to make something like coffee or tea. So, "Woman, bring me the kettle." And she's like, "What? The kettle? Are you sure?" He's like, "What do you mean? Don't speak back. Of course, I want the kettle. Bring me the kettle." She's like, "Okay." 20 minutes go by, no kettle to be found. My grandfather's like, "Where the fuck is my kettle?" He stands up, goes to the kitchen, only to see my grandma lugging the fridge and trying to drag it over to him. And he's like, "Stop, what are you doing?" And she's like, "You said to bring the fridge." He's like, "The kettle." Long story short, Lebanese Arabic, the kettle's or the word for kettle is fridge in Egyptian Arabic, or the other way around, I can't remember. Either way, that one word means something completely different. And she thought that he wanted the fridge. And she is the type of woman to actually go out of her way and try to bring him the fridge. Completely off topic to this picture, but another thing is, so there was all those types of stories, right? And one story that I heard, it's not like a story to tell right now, but basically they used to have an old Great Dane. And my grandma never liked dogs, except for two that I know of in my life. Bailey, our current family dog, and their Great Dane that they owned. I think they were living in Adelaide at the time. And so I remember them telling me about this, because obviously I wasn't here when she took a picture of her with the Great Dane. But this is the Great Dane being kind of like taken to the home. I don't know why, but like to give them something to do, I guess. I don't know why, but anyway, she got so happy apparently seeing this dog because it reminded her of her old dog. It's another moment of just my grandma being happy, which is a rarity, but that makes me feel good. Speaking of stories, did you tell your grandma about how you saved a girl's life twice and how much of a hero you are? She already knew. She already knew that I was a hero. She also have I told you guys that I've also saved the life of a dog before? She knew about that. She was very impressed. And yeah, that's true. Divorce is a massive no-no. Like I said this earlier, but my grandma and grandfather both were separated, but they never officially got divorced because it's very like as he said, a big no-no. Well, speaking of 14 to 15-year-old Izzy, this is Izzy's 15th birthday, so this would be 3 years ago. 3 to 4 years ago now. Tessa can actually stand up in this picture, so you can tell it's like kind of just the beginning of where her health started deteriorating. She would be about 80, 81 in this photo. I remember this as well. Again, this is another perfect example of just like my grandma not wanting to take the picture. Because it's like exactly the previous story I told you. She was so pissed off. There was so many moments like this in her time like with us. But she did not want to be there. This, I don't remember what what event this was, but I remember sitting on the edge of the table watching this picture be taken. She's like, and then like the minute the camera goes off, just fucking like bad mood. Just like deadpan, just done. Like let me leave. I don't want to be here. And I if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure she made a big fuss after this, to the point where we had to take her home. And Mum got really pissed off. It's just so funny because it just encapsulates what my grandma is in a nutshell. Are there any pictures of 14-year-old Deezer? I actually have some on my PC. I saved them for a specific stream I wanted to do. I can quickly show you. So That's number 34. Remember that, chat. 34. I can quickly show you a couple, but I don't want to derail this particular stream. Okay, here's a few. So this is me and my first girlfriend, Anthea. Isn't it hot? I did not want to be in this photo. I think I would have been 15 or 16 in this picture. Shut up, Hyuk Jun. You don't get credit. Fun fact. I know that Tom's not gonna like this. Those right there are Tom's hands. Look at those hands, chat. You get a glimpse of them. Tom's hands reveal. Oh, Tom's leg. Oh. This was like, oh my god, it's Victor. That's Victor, Tom. I wonder if he's dead. He probably is dead. He hated me, and I hated him. This was on a camp trip. Like, this is in the school bus, and we're going for a camp trip. I think this is year 12. Year 11 or year 12. And me and Tom watched Avatar, not The Last Airbender, the shit one, the blue Avatar, on his phone. Someone took a picture of me. And let's go one more. Oh god, maybe not that one. Oh, look at me being so cool. In class, taking a picture for Facebook. What the fuck was that? I don't think anybody wants to know. But yeah, I took a picture with this drum. And I remember the first Facebook comment was, nice drum. Anyway. Oh my god. If you needed proof for what I was saying earlier about how pissed off my grandma was in this moment.
Emery Insanity subscribed. Rip Grandma. Sorry for your loss, buddy, and all the love less than 3.
Thank you, Emery. I'm sorry I'm not doing the push-ups today. But I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. We're just looking back at pictures fondly, so... Yeah, she was not having a good time on this day. Look at how pissed off Mum looks too. True. True. She does look really pissed off. Also, you are so lucky, Izzy, because my camera is hiding your braces right here. Just saying. Just saying. Emery, how are you doing, man? Thank you for coming on by. So... Another thing about my grandma is she, obviously being old and not an English speaker, or like English not being her first language, she kept getting phones. Okay, so when I started working at the company I work for, she insisted that I buy her a phone. She came into the store, she did a contract, she got the phone. She didn't like it. She didn't know how to use it. She insisted to get a Samsung. I kept telling her to get an iPhone. And she's like, no, 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 I want a Samsung, I want a Samsung. I spent so much time trying to teach her. She kept accidentally, pocket dialing me. Taking random ass fucking pictures like this. She was not a fan of technology, let's just say. What she was a fan of, though, was Bailey. And I know I've said this a couple of times because there's a few pictures of her and Bailey. But this is when Bailey was new to the family. A little pupper. Very cute. Unlike now, he just looks really dumb now. I went and saw him today, and God, he looks stupid. And he smells so bad. But this is when Bailey was a baby, and immediately my grandma loved him. Immediately. Yeah, I mean, I won't lie and say that I'm good. I've said this already, but I'll repeat it. Like, I haven't really been hit. I've cried a couple of times. Like, when I say cry, I can count how many tears I've had drop from my eyes on one hand. So I've had 4 solitary tears come down to my, drop on my face. But I can tell you, it's either going to happen extremely randomly or at the funeral, probably, where I know that I'm just going to burst and it's all going to hit at once. Because to me, it's not really hit. I've been prepared for this for a while. Like, I said this last stream, but I knew that she was going to pass. Either yesterday or today. She ended up passing away at 1 p.m. today. And yeah, the main reason I'm streaming is just for company right now. Like, it's in follow only mode because I don't want people to come in and just say stupid shit. And it's not really supposed to entertain anyone. It's just a little sneak peek into what my grandma was like as a person, a celebration of her life, as well as just keeping company. If you're anything like me, it won't happen till the funeral, if not after. Well, okay, so the reason I have all these pictures, by the way, isn't just for content. Like, it's literally because I've been asked to make a video, which I'm going to do. I might even start it tonight, I'm not sure. But one thing is, I could have chosen to do the video or speak and recite a prayer or something. The reason I'm not doing that, there's 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm not religious, so I would feel so awkward and uncomfortable reciting any sort of prayer, as well as I just don't think I could read it out very well. Like, I'm happy to speak and improvise or speak a speech that I've written, but I feel like if I'm reading something, like whenever I read the news, for example, on stream, I always fumble my words, and I don't want that embarrassment, especially if we're talking about the image of the family. People in my family are really concerned about image. I don't want that to bring that down. I'd rather speak with a video, which I can do, which is going to really not impress, but do justice to the scenario. And the second reason is, and more importantly, I don't know if I'd be able to say it all without bursting. I feel like I would just cry. I wouldn't be able to go on. I wouldn't be able to finish. So I might as well just put it all in a format that I can actually do before the funeral. And put my best into it. Yeah, it is a nice dog. I don't remember what this occasion is, but this is my grandma kind of closer to how I remember her looking. And Tom. And also the really awkward pictures in the background. Again, my mom made me take those fucking pictures. But when we really talk about my grandma, and I know that you guys have made this comparison already, but like, she is like a mafia boss. Doesn't she just look like a mafia boss here? Blake's flipping off the camera in the middle pic. Don't tell them my secret. I was doing a barcode. Matriarch of the Deasy family. Well, yeah, she was literally the head of the family. She was the oldest. It was formerly my grandfather who was the absolute head of the family, and then he passed away, and I guess my grandma kind of inherited that responsibility. Now it would fall to Fruyal, who is one of her sisters, who's now the oldest. But this is my grandma's 80th, so we've gone back all the way 5 years. Izzy looking psychotic as fuck. My sister, my mom looking more like my sister. And then me looking high as shit. Again. And most importantly, my grandma not looking like she wants to be there. By the way, she was smiling in this picture. Guido passed away on the 6th of the 6th. Tessa passed on the 9th of the 9th. That is pretty weird. Mum told me to open my eyes wide, so I was making fun of her. Good. Good. You can tell that she's a little bit more happy because it's just the grandchildren and not random people that she doesn't know. Because at this stage, she didn't really like them or know anybody in the house. Except for me and my sister. I think this day they were all making fun of her because she was so grumpy. Like, she did not want to be there. Again, what's new? But I remember, like, Tom is so happy right here. And I feel like it's because he knows that she's so pissed. Invasion Day? What is Invasion Day? So this is my grandma and her three of her sisters. Izzy, do you know what her name is? I can't remember. We never really see her. But this is Ilham. She's one of the youngest. I think the only person that's younger is Noha. And this would be the new head of the family, the new matriarch. Froyal. It actually, like, kind of looks like... It's... Dude, it genuinely reminds me of a mafia, but, like, it makes sense that she's the mafia boss, and then once she passes, this person becomes the new Don. Lena. I don't remember. That doesn't ring a bell. As you can see, my grandmother liked to go off the hinges a little bit from time to time. Apparently my sister, at a very young age, started alcoholism. It makes sense. Did she ever hit you with the paste? Are you saying pasta? We're not Italian. I think she would be like closer to 13 here. I'm pretty sure those jelly shots weren't alcoholic. I have no idea what this is because I was not there. But there's my grandma. There's Izzy. And literally no one else. Oh, there's Tom. I don't even know where Mum is. I don't know what this is. This is probably one of those dance things that you used to do. Still do. Singing night. Okay, there you go. Did she like being there? She looks happy. I imagine she would not be happy sitting next to Lucas. This guy's name is Lucas, right? I imagine, like, I've said this so many times tonight, but it's true. My grandma was a lovely lady, but she was highly intolerant. And I imagine she would not be happy sitting next to Lucas for specific reasons. She liked watching me sing, but she didn't like the people. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. That makes sense to me. He's gay and a dickhead. I mean, it makes sense. She's not homophobic. I feel like she's just, you know, of a different culture. It's not like she's specifically homophobic. I feel like she's... If you were to say that she's homophobic, then she's also a racist. She's also, like, all of the horrible, horrible things in the world you could define as my grandma. But she... I don't know. Like, she can't be that and... You know. Exactly. She's literally from a different era. I don't think you can blame her. Because she, like, when we tried to explain things to her like that, she just couldn't comprehend it. She couldn't understand. She understood kindness, specifically within the family. But anyway. This right here is 100% the time where I kind of looked at my grandma and realize that she was fading. Because even though this was a while ago, like this would have been maybe 5 or 6 years ago. This is where her hair started finally turning grey. I think she had gotten cancer around this time, or maybe just a little bit before, which she beat, by the way. She beat cancer, and then she beat the other thing that I told you about last year, and it's only now that she's passed on. But she beat cancer here. That's why she lost all her hair and it came back in grey. I remember making fun of her because her hair was grey. I think you see that in the next few pictures. But again, with her sisters, so that's Ilham, that's Froyal. I don't know who that little shit is. And yes, that is Christine, our anorexic cousin. She is legitimately anorexic. Always has been. I'm surprised. I know that this is horrible to say, but I'm surprised that she outlived my grandma. I genuinely thought she would die very young. I actually put this in because I've never seen this picture before, but this must be, I'm guessing, either when they first came to Australia or just like really early on when they first started living in Sydney, I'm guessing. But that's my grandfather and that's my grandma. I have no idea who the third wheel here is. So, when my grandma got cancer, she lost all her hair and she was very self-conscious about that. Because she had hair before. She never went bald, unlike me. And so, she got a wig. I was so ruthless to my grandma at this time. You know how, I told you my grandma's catchphrase was, "Who shut up?" The amount of times I have heard that in this era of my grandma. Unfathomable, honestly. I would take it off of her and laugh at her expense. Just constantly ask if that was a wig. Sometimes she wouldn't understand, sometimes she would. No matter what I said, she was always mad about me bringing it up. It was good stuff. Which photo was that? So this here is a perfect example. Because I remember this moment. This was another Christmas. And this was me making fun of my grandma and her hair. Because I'm pretty sure this was the first time that I had seen her with no hair. And I was just constantly attacking her for that. And she looks like she's fine here, but I remember specifically this conversation, her going, "Shut up, Blake," in Arabic. Just shut the fuck up. I'm gonna give you a slap. And the whole time I'm holding Caesar. Caesar was our family dog before Bailey. And he's dead as well. He passed on. I miss that dog. Also, you can see priorities. They're taking photos. I'm already eating. While she beat cancer, I think this is really where she started to wear down. Like, that's kind of her downfall right there. It beat her up. She beat it, but it certainly beat her up. Another picture from this time. I'm not very happy because there's no food yet. What is the food? So we've got, this is like a bean, soupy, like tomato thing. I don't like this. I don't like this. It's a Lebanese thing, I think. But everybody seems to like that. I don't fucking like it. I don't get me wrong, I don't hate it. I will eat it. It's kind of like something that you eat on the side, but I don't like it. Potato, mashed potato, and then potato salad. The potato salad's so good. What else? So, no, that's not a massive piece of bread. That's a turkey. You can tell because it has the wing. And then roast potatoes. We made a lot of potatoes because Tom's Irish. And that's legitimately the reason. And then a massive piece of ham. And then my grandma getting her Christmas gift of the year, which was Chanel number 5. She was a very ladylike woman. Very old-fashioned, very ladylike. And she loved that type of stuff. Dutch people prefer cheese sandwiches for Christmas. I mean, to be fair, you can't go wrong with a cheese sandwich. I would eat that. I would eat that over, actually maybe not over the, along with the feast that my mum makes every year. Sadly, because Isabel isn't living in Sydney anymore, I don't think we're going to get those feasts anymore. Which is very upsetting. I thought the picture on the wall was a generic IKEA picture. It pretty much is. It pretty much is. We can kind of have a look at that. So Tom, Mum, me, and Isabel. And again, I've said this, but I'm just purposely being the biggest dickhead in this picture right now. Like, just trying to smile as wide as possible because Mum kept telling me to smile. Just making faces. Well, I know for a fact my smile is fake. Mum's smile is always fake in every picture. She doesn't know how to smile. I don't know about Tom, and I don't know about Isabel. Ah, yes. My grandma, what is this? Whatever it is, I'm sure it's alcoholic, because even though she doesn't look like it, and even though she doesn't drink a lot, she was an alcoholic. She looks sassy in that pic. She does. She absolutely does. Who's hiding who is this? Hiding themselves from the picture. What a bitch. one of the last times that I got to spend with my grandma, just after the first wave of lockdown last year, we went to a restaurant. I don't know if Isabel was there. I think it was just me, Mom, Tom, and my grandma. And she was in her wheelchair, so we wheelchaired her in. And she was really, really sickly. Like, she was very ill. So she couldn't have certain things. And Mom bought, I remember this, Mom bought some sort of alcoholic drink. I think it was a mojito. And my grandma, like, just kept looking at it. And she kind of lost her speech at that stage. Like, she was able to speak in Arabic, but she couldn't speak in English. And even in Arabic, she kind of couldn't speak properly. So I remember her looking at it, staring at it. The entire time I'm like laughing my head off, because I know what my grandma wants. She wants a sip of that mojito. And I remember my mom like looking at her like, what do you want? And my grandma going, And my mom goes, do you want some of this? Like, as if it's a child. And my grandma's like, And she like gave her, she's like, okay, you can have it, but just a sip. And so she got a straw, put it in her mouth, and she just fucking sucked it down. Like, she drank so much of it. Like, a scary amount, considering. My mom was like, oh my god, you can't drink that. Luckily, she was fine, but yeah, she drank way too much of that alcohol. She really liked it too. I also remember from that particular lunch, there was something that she didn't like, and she went, bah! And like spat it out and threw it. I think this is the same picture. That would be my grandma. That would be the sister whose name I always forget. Then we have this. What is this, a stencil photo? I don't know what this is, but that's obviously my grandfather. That's my grandma. Have you seen this picture before, Izzy? Again with the beehive hairdo. This one is a picture of my grandma. The youngest picture of my grandma I've ever seen. Look at this. She looks like an actual teenager. This must be in the 40s or early 50s. Late 40s, early 50s. God damn. And then that's my grandfather again. Grandma. Don't know what this is, but this must be maybe for a birthday. He looks like he's blowing out a candle. You know what this is? I think I just realized what this is. We saw a picture of this earlier, And we thought it might be from a church. This must be where they got their citizenship. I think that's what this is. They all have like a book in their hand. They all look fresh off the boat. I think that's what it is. I think this is their citizenship. Now, according to the Facebook comments of this photo, apparently this is them in Israel. I don't know any stories about when they went to Israel, but I do have a story, a small story. So, when my mom and my uncle were very young, I don't know if they lived or if they were just visiting, but they went to Egypt, and it was either Egypt or Lebanon. I can't remember, it was one of the two. And they were stuck. They were stuck there due to the war, or a war. It must have been Lebanon. In fact, I'm sure it was Lebanon. Anyway, they were stuck there because of a war. That's kind of probably this era, I'm guessing, because it just looks like my grandma's a little bit older in this picture. But yeah, basically, one story that I do have from that, or two stories, let's say. So my mom has a lot of problems due to that. So she's got literal PTSD, because she would wake up to bombs just exploding. Another thing is, one of my, I don't know if she was an auntie or a great auntie or like, basically someone that was related to me that lived with them at the time, walked outside during a ceasefire moment to go get groceries for the family. And apparently one of the things that my mom either witnessed or just like saw glimpses of was this lady being shot through the leg by a sniper. Because it was wartime, and even though there was a ceasefire, that sniper decided to shoot. Is that a camel or dromedary? I think it is a camel. Is that why she freaks out when you wake her up in the middle of the night? I assume so. Ask her. But she does legitimately have that as a problem. Or at least that's what she used to tell me when I was a kid. How true those stories are, I don't know. And that is it. That's the entire gallery that I was able to collect. I'll be adding to these because, again, I need to make a video for the funeral. But that was my grandma, everybody. Shahini Gaddis, born 21st of March, 1936, and she lived to the ripe old age of 85, only passing away at 1 p.m. today. I don't know if I'm going to end stream, but whether I do or don't, I appreciate those that stuck around today. Truly. Um, yeah. Gotta be there for my favorite indie streamer. Thank you, Hugh Jones. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know it's different. We'll get to the stupid shit again soon. Honestly, probably sooner than rather than later. Like, again, it hasn't really hit me. I'm sure it will eventually, but it hasn't really hit me to the level that you would expect. That she's gone. Like, it's sad. It's very sad. But exactly, I think I was prepared for it. I'm sure it will hit me eventually, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. The saddest thing about life is that all of us will fade into memories. That's true, but I feel like if you can leave a positive memory in those that you love, or even just in general, that's all that really matters, right? Or at least that's all that matters to me. Not necessarily about image, but more if you are nice, kind-hearted, and you know, just in general, it's hard to say good because I don't think there's a definitive good that you can be. But for the lack of a better term, if you can just be a good person to like other people, smile, make other people laugh, make yourself laugh, live the best life that you can, then I think you've done all right. And while my grandma may not have made others smile, she may have been rather ruthless in her age and time. She was certainly very family focused, and I have a lot of lovely memories of her. And they won't go away anytime soon. Saddest part about life is that we're all gonna die, and this is our only chance at life, and yet nobody wants to date me. Hey man, me and you both. Me and you both. If you leave a positive impact on people around you, that's a pretty nice way to summarize it. Yeah. I don't want to go offline. I don't really have anything else to say, but I don't really want to go offline. And I don't really want to change the topic. Because, like, I could just change the topic and go all fun and loopy and normal deezy, but I don't think, number one, it's appropriate. Number two, I could definitively do that naturally. But I definitely don't want to go offline yet. I mean, that's what I've been doing all stream though. Like, I know I said this story yesterday, but the only other story that comes to mind is the meningococcal story. So I'll quickly retell it. But basically, whenever there was something really bad, like let's say an outbreak, not necessarily COVID, but like some sort of like the bird flu or meningococcal itself, what my mom would do, not my mom, what my grandma would do is call my mom panicking because she had a lot of anxiety about this type of stuff. She'd be like, don't let Blake go to school. Don't let Isabel go to school. There's a really bad virus going on. They'll get sick and they'll die. And then my mom will be like, what is it? What is it, Mom? What is it, Mom? She'll be like, because she doesn't speak English, she doesn't know what it's called. She'll be like, they're gonna get cockamanja. And what she meant to say is meningococcal. So like in a really serious tone, almost crying, because she had a knack of crying a lot, especially when she was emotional. And she just like shout, they're gonna get cockamanja and die. So yeah. Have you told the story about how that photo's eyes follow you everywhere? What, this photo here? I haven't told the story, no. I don't know if there is a story about that, but feel free to say it in chat. What other stories are there? I don't know. There's so many. That's the thing. She had a long and like a full life. She really did.
Keep me in your memory.
Apparently they're doing this Are You Okay campaign across Twitch from the 2nd of September till the 18th. Maybe I should brand this stream as the Are You Okay stream. Chat, are you okay? Basically, that photo was hanging up in my grandma's house, and no matter where in the house you were standing, she would look at you, and it would freak me out so much. I think that was a you thing, Isabel. I don't remember that at all. Now I can't unsee it. I feel like if that's true, it would have been more prevalent with the actual photo though. Because this is an actual like photo in a frame at my mom's house. What were the earliest memories that I have of her when I was a kid? Do you want good memories or bad memories? Because I have both. Because to be honest, I think the good memories I've already kind of talked about. The bad memories, I don't know if I necessarily want to talk about, but they are prevalent. And when I say bad memories, I mean like more my grandfather being a dick and my grandma just going along for the ride. Every grandparent's house has such a thing. Yeah, that's true. My grandma used to have like statues of Egyptian pharaohs. So, for example, there's this little statue bust of Queen Nefertiti. I don't know why. I don't know why she had that. But it was fucking creepy as shit. My earliest memory of her was being in her house, dancing around in her living room. There was a cockroach and Blake calmly said, "Isabel, look at your foot." There was a cockroach right next to it, and thus my irrational fear of cockroaches was born. Yeah. Yeah. She lived in a really dingy place. I can actually show you. It wouldn't be doxing. Because I can show you I can show you that on Google Maps. I can show you where basically I grew up. One sec. I gotta make it in a way that I don't get doxed. And I can tell you a couple of stories about this place. So, my grandma lived in these housing commissions, and funnily enough, apparently Tom's grandma, like our Tom, Stream Tom, lived across the road, and I didn't even know. Another thing about that, and we were literally talking about this in Discord a couple days ago. Me and him both had friends, like mutual friends. I was really good friends with a couple of people that he was good friends with as well. And I never met Tom until like year 9. Isn't that fucking weird? So, we're gonna start here because basically this place, this looks like you'd get stabbed. But this was one of the bus stops. This is the bus stop that I would get off to go to come home, and this is the bus stop in the morning. I would wait for the school bus to take me to school. Anyway, these towers in the distance. This is where my grandmother lived for a good portion of my life. I want to say since I was a baby, like literally when I was first born, till she ended up living with us for a moment. And then moving to the home. But you would go in here, there's like a little park in this area, and then there's a lift that goes up into one of these buildings. She doesn't live on this side. She actually... Oh, I have a story that I just thought of. It. Holy shit. So she lives on... If we keep going down this way... She used to live in this side of the building because it's like a double housing commission. So one on this side, one on this side. And she lived on the very, very left. Like on the top floor, on the very, very left of this building. And, okay, hang on. Can I street view change so I can see, or are these trees always in the way? I think they're always in the way. Yeah. Anyway, so looking at this, I think it was the 4th floor was the top floor. So I have a story. So basically, she lived in the top floor. But when you go to... How do I explain this without, like, showing you? It's hard. Okay, what about this picture? Okay, so you see these. These are basically the stairwell entrances to the actual apartments. So let me open up the paint. What the actual, like, stairwell entrances looked like once you go in there. This is a really bad, like, rendition of it, but you'll understand. So, this is a stairwell going down. And this is a stairwell going up. That's a door. That's a door. That's a door. Downstairs. And this was my grandma's door. So, in here, there was a family of white rednecks. Like, bogans. Bogan family. I think it was this side were the Greek couple, old Greek couple. This side, I don't fucking remember. I don't think she ever knew or talked to the person on this side. And then this side was my grandma. So, there's one more thing that I have to preface. So you go down these stairs, down to the apartment, you open the door, there's a window here. The window leads to the kitchen. So the kitchen is essentially right next to this window. There's like a little sink right here. And then there's a ledge with piping and plumbing and all of that stuff. Anyway, same is on the other side for the Bogan family. The reason I have to preface all of that, one day I was sitting down watching who knows what, probably Cartoon Network, in the lounge room, which is just a little bit further down from the kitchen. My grandma's in the kitchen, just cooking away. I look towards her because I hear something weird. And all I see is a hand touching the window. Now, I have to remind you, we are 4 stories high. We are at the top of this building. This is very, very high up. And I see a hand on the window. I look over, I say, "Teta, look." Meanwhile, there's just a man kind of like sliding his way across the window. My grandma sees it and immediately picks up the knife. And she starts shouting and screaming. And all I remember seeing is just the sheer horror on this man's face, because he's like, "Oh my god, I'm going to fall and die." He's just like, "No, no, no." I remember he just like quickly shuffled all the way across. My grandma was so freaked out, she rushed to the door, and then she had like a little chain, and she like put that chain on, locked it, called the cops. 20 minutes later, we hear a knock on the door. We assume it's the cops, and it's that guy, because we've got a little peephole we can see. But he's with the lady who lives in this apartment. So my grandma asks, "What do you want?" And she's like, "Oh, we just want to explain what happened." Anyway, after about like 5 minutes of my grandma like freaking the fuck out at them, basically it was found out that this was her son, the Bogan family guy's son, and he had locked himself out. And so what he thought was smart to do was to climb down from this, like, ledge and then just slide over the fucking windows until he got to his window so he could unlock the door and let himself in. 4 stories high. My grandma almost killed him. And honestly, I'm so surprised that he didn't fall out of shock because she was like attacking the window. Anyway. So yeah, she lived here for a good portion of my life. This is like the, I don't know what you want to call it. This is where all the lads live. When I say lads, I mean like the scummiest of the scum. Like all the gangsters. And when I say gangsters, I mean like the wannabe gangsters. And I don't mean like mafia level. I mean like, you know, San Andreas gangsters, right? So we lived in this environment for a very, very long time. Nobody fucked with my grandma, though. I remember, so a little bit further down here is her plants. Yeah, the esches, exactly. A little bit further down here, there's like you can see them. These are like her plants that she would grow. And I remember there was a time where some of those esches would come up to her and hassle her. And they were terrified of her because she would pick up the closest thing that she could find and like chuck it at them, or like try to actually hit them. Like, she was actually terrifying. It was great. See if you can get around the back through here, through Google Maps. This would be East Lake Shopping Center here, right? Yeah. They have like the statue, the Hindi statue here. Where is it gone? Or is this just a bad picture? Ah, there it is. This is like an actual Hindi shrine that people can offer things to. So this is the walk to the grocery store. Actually, you can see her apartment from here. This is the back side. So her apartment would be this one. This would be her balcony. I'm surprised you cannot see all the vines that she fucking kept. Like, it was overgrown.
You love her that much?
That shrine's not there, really? God damn. But yeah, so like, you'd come down the elevator, you'd go through the little park, and then come out this way. Walk down here. Oh my god. I would do this all the time with my grandma. Walk down this street. There's another park here that we already went past. All all the junkies would hang out here. I used to play here when I was a kid. That's a little bear thing. I don't know what you want to call it. And then here, you're in. You go up through this, like it says no pedestrians allowed, but everybody just went up. Up this little ramp. And then the back entrance to East Lakes Shopping Center is right there. There's a little fruit store to the left. And then Audi directly in front. I wonder what it looks like now. Is it the same? Apparently it's just exactly the same. Oh wow, they did take it down. They still have this here though. The bears. She loved the lotto? Yeah. Yeah, she did. There used to be, a very long time ago, I'm sure we could get it on Google Maps, a McDonald's right here. And right here was the McDonald's that my mom managed. Let's see, can you see it back in 2007? I think you can. Oh, no, you can't. It was a supermarket even back in 2007. But you can tell, like, this is the exact McDonald's, like, architecture. This was a McDonald's once upon a time. Did my stream cut out? If you spoke after Isabel said she loved the lotto, please repeat, because I didn't see anything. Because it disconnected my chat. Yes, they did have a KFC, you're right. It would have been a little bit further down. Right here. In fact, there it is. Wait. They've got the KFC sign, but the KFC's gone. It would have been right here, right? There's a photo of me and you at the McDonald's, and I'm sitting on Ronald McDonald's lap, bawling my eyes out, and you're pissing yourself. Do you have that picture? I want to see it. That's right, you go in through here, and the Woolworths is like straight ahead. And then there's like, is it another fruit shop right here? There's like a really loud guy always shouting about fruit. And then there's like a t-shirt shop just in front of it. And that's where I got my Eddie Guerrero t-shirt as well, from that little stall. I had a birthday at that. I also had a birthday at that McDonald's. We went into the freezer room. Oh, it was good stuff. And this car park. Oh my god, this car park. I have stories about this car park. First thing is, every time I came here, every time, there was always a dead pigeon. There was always a dead pigeon here. Like, A pigeon was always run over in the car park. I don't shop there there often these days, but when I was a kid, I did. Yeah. No, I haven't been here probably in over 15 years. My God, it does look like you would get stabbed here. But I wouldn't mind going for a walk here just for nostalgia. And yes, I do remember Noel. It is Noel D'Souza. That's right. He was our local doctor. Wait, what the fuck did they do? There's no more car park. Oh, not doctor. He was our local pharmacist. That's right. Our doctor was another Egyptian guy. I can't remember his name, but his practice was on that road that is close. Close to Heffron Park. Well, Noel, I'm pretty sure ran for something in politics, didn't he? Yeah, literally Tom just said it. He's running for Randwick Council. Okay, well, if we go back before they did this... Oh wow, they've been doing this since 2016. Right on the corner here. Right on the corner here, there's a TAB. And there's a little opening that kind of leads to Gardeners Road. There also used to be a really, really prevalent McDonald's sign that would direct you to the McDonald's that was right here. But anyway, that's besides the point. The Golden Arches, everybody. The TAB on the side here. I have a story. Basically, my grandfather would take me there all the time. He would make me sit outside. I would do nothing for 4 hours while he gambled his life away in the TAB, just betting on horses. I went inside every now and then just, to annoy him. And he would, it would just smell like smoke and just disgusting. And he was just the best grandpa. Anyway, one day, actually I have two stories. One day, I met a couple of the kids in this area. They were of the Eshe variety, let's just say. And because I had nothing better to do, I befriended them. They had a soccer ball. We start kicking it around. And long story short, I kicked the ball into a car that was just parking. Now, it didn't break the glass. It didn't even leave a dent in his car. But obviously he's pissed because some kid just kicked a ball into his car. So he immediately gets out and goes, "Oi!" And the other kids are like, "Run! Run, Blake, run!" And then we all split. The girl runs down this... down this way. The guy runs through the car park. And I run into the TAB. Immediately hiding behind my grandfather. And the guy, bursts in. He obviously chased me. He goes up to my grandfather. And he looks like he's about to bash him. And my grandfather, he's a scary man. Was a scary man. He, told the guy calmly, basically, leave and don't get hurt. Take another step and you die. And the guy, shat himself. I remember it so vividly. He actually shat himself, and he fucking, like, he pointed at me. I think he said something along the lines of, "I'm gonna gut ya." And then he just, like, left. He just left. And for the rest of the day, I hid behind my grandfather, terrified that I was going to get killed when he wasn't looking. The second story I have is my grandfather gave me a little bit of money to play with while he was gambling outside. So in that little opening where the TAB is, there's like little chairs and everything. Anyway, I go and buy some bubble gum, and I think it was, I can't remember what the brand was, but it was like the circle bubble gums, like the ones that you get from the those machines. Anyway, I eat one. I don't like eat it, but like I just start chewing it. It loses its flavor. I'll just have another one. Start chewing that one, loses its flavor. Start thinking to myself, how many bubble gums can I chew? Start chewing more. Ran out. Took the ball of bubble gum, put it in my hand, and went, I'll go get some more bubble gum. Ask for more money. Go to the corner store, wherever it was. I buy, because I didn't know what else to get, so I was like, oh, what about the extras? You know those extra bubble gums, the sheets? Anyway, I go and get that. I fit the entire thing, the entire bowl of bubble gum, as well as extra bubble gum that I bought, in my mouth. And I'm like, that was fun. Take it out. There's a little bit of blood on it. I'm like, what's that? Start feeling my teeth. My front two teeth are in the bubble gum. They weren't loose. I ripped my front two teeth out accidentally. And it's lucky that they grew back. For like a month or two, I looked like a little vampire kid. One time when I was about 4, I accidentally closed Gibdo's fridge too fast. I broke one egg and he screamed at me, called me a fucking idiot, and told me to go to the room and don't come out for the rest of the night until my mom picked me up. Wow. I broke his vacuum. He specifically told me not to fuck with the vacuum, and then I fucked with the vacuum and broke it. And he's like, he almost killed me. I remember the wrath. It was very, very scary. Legitimately very scary. There was also one time, and this is very embarrassing, but I was a kid. So, I didn't want to be there. Like, I didn't want to be at his place. And I was very nervous. Anyway, he puts me to bed, and immediately, I'm talking like 10 minutes after I fell asleep, I wet the bed. And he starts shouting at me, "You fucking idiot, like why would, like you're almost a man." I was like, I don't even know how old. I was a kid. Anyway, he cleans it. He gives me new sheets. I go to sleep. 10 minutes later, I wet the bed again. I remember he pretty much made me sleep on, what do you call it? Like, not a couch, but not a recliner. Like, he had this chair outside in his lounge room. And he made me sleep on that. And I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night because I was terrified that I was going to wet the bed there. Or not the bed. I was going to wet the chair. So I just like stayed up all night. Just after you turn to the street to see McDonald's, that's where my nan crashed her car. Like, here? The construction zone right here? Jesus Christ. I remember, this is such a weird and random memory, but it would have been literally right here on the bus. Somebody showed me a Tamagotchi for the first time. That was the last time she was allowed to drive. God damn. By the way, this is that little opening that I was telling you about. So you go through here. Unless you get stabbed, unless you don't get stabbed and make it to the other side, there's the TAB on the other side. And the McDonald's sign used to be literally right here. And then, so you saw my grandma's place. Keep going this way. This is the walk that I used to do all the time. Across Gardeners Road. And it would be... Is it this entrance? I think it's this entrance. This is the building that my grandfather used to live in. I remember when Guido fell off his motorbike and broke his collarbone. This man was picking me up from school on a fucking motorbike when he was 75. Yeah, and do you remember when he fell off the bike and broke his collarbone? He ran into an ambulance. Do you remember that? I'm pretty sure someone told me it was around here on Gardeners Road that it happened. Oh no, hang on. No, it was this entrance. It was this entrance. I'm sure of it. You go in here, and then I think... Wait, no. It's not that entrance. It's not. It can't be. It's here. 100%. It's here. Because his balcony was that one right there. Remember the 7-Eleven up the street? Is it still there? I don't remember the 7-Eleven up the street. What I do remember, I wonder if you can go in here. What I do remember is going into this place. It would be this apartment block that there was a Spanish family living here, and I was really good friends with the kids. And then you go in here. My grandfather's unit would have been just behind this tree on the second level. And I used to ride my bike through here, through this section, all the way around. And then up here. Emily was the other building though. It wasn't this one. That was in Maroubra. Oh, I remember there were kids that lived in one of these houses, like a Tongan family. I think it was this one that I was friends with. And then I went over to their house, and now that I'm an adult, I kind of realized that their parents just had a mountain of weed. Like, they had bongs outside, like on the kitchen table. And I had no idea what it was as a kid, of course. But they just had that shit. Like, in plain sight. Emily stole my Super Mario Brothers game that I lost and I never told you. The new Super Mario Brothers? I knew you stole it. And gave it to her. That was my birthday present. That was a good game, too. Then you keep going down this road. This is Anzac Parade. There's two places of interest here. So Jeremy Gardens, this balcony right here, this was where I lived with Chris. That was my window. And just around here, that's where I used to stream. Back in 2018. Yeah, get fucked, past Blake. What the hell is happening here? Oh my god. Whoa! Did the camera just get knocked by, like, a bird or something? What the fuck? Jesus Christ. That's my chair! That's my chair right there! That's my chair. And Chris always had the blinds closed because he hated... Anyway, he hated it was next door, like literally right here, there's just construction on the tram line, and it was just a massive fucking mound of dirt. You'll see that, I'm sure, if we progress the dates. And no, it was my chair, Thomas, because I paid for it. Unlike all of the stuff that I have in my PC right now, I actually paid for it. And then I didn't use it because it was too low. Your friend lived there about a year ago before moving to another place in Kingsford. Really? Like, literally the same balcony? Or the same apartment block? Or like a different one? I warned you so much. You did. You really did. It was such a waste. It was a really nice chair, though. It was just too low. I'm sure I could have made it go higher, though. The same one. So we literally must have been the tenants just before your friend. Do you know which room he stayed in? I wonder if he stayed in my room or if he stayed in Chris's, because Chris lived in the larger room. Like he paid more rent to live in the larger room, and it worked out better for me because the smaller room was better noise isolated, I guess. I don't know what the word is, but like basically because of the construction outside, Chris hated living here because the construction was just like constant. I wonder if you can see the dirt mound they made. No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they skip it. Oh, you can kind of see it starting. I swear that dirt mound that I'm talking about, it reached to about here. It was so loud. And their construction went on all night as well. And funnily enough, they finished construction just as we left. So now it looks like this. No, it was just me and Chris. But then, there's something even weirder about this place. So, I used to live there back in 2018. But 2 or 3 houses down, you see this? Before Isabel was in the picture, this is where I lived with my mom. This right here, this balcony was ours. And it was directly on top of a preschool called Wind in the Willows, a childcare center, which both me and Isabel went to. And I have a couple of stories about this place. Most prevalent story was, you know how I am a piece of shit. Well, even as a child, there was one time I was sick, so I didn't go to preschool. But what I did do was, put it this way, my window was just on this wall. I kept like shouting down and trying to get the kids' attention. And my mom like got really mad at me. So she basically told me not to do it. I kept doing it. She gets mad. I think she spanked me or something. I don't remember. Basically, the end of the story, I don't remember much of it because I was literally a toddler. I took chocolate and candy and threw them out of the window down to where the children were. And I have that burned in my memory. I remember doing it. Throwing it down to the children, and they were all like just loving life. I was a gracious king. Yeah, no commute to school, nothing. 2 more stories about this place. Short one, the next one. So I told you there's Tom, and then there's preschool Tom, or like pre-Tom. Pre-Tom was my best friend up until high school. We met in this Wind in the Willows school. We then went to the same primary school together, and then we went to the same high school together. But it was only in high school where I replaced him with the superior Tom model. And third story, and probably the best one, especially because it's very on brand. So, I've told this before, in fact, pretty much as recently as the last IRL stream, but my grandma, as lovely as she was, extremely intolerant. When we lived here, we had a cat, and the cat's name was Kuji. It's like the only cat in existence that I've ever liked. I don't like cats, but apparently when I was a kid, I adored this cat. And even just hearing its name, like, gives me emotions because, like, I had a connection to this animal. Anyway, one day, it either died or ran away, we don't know. But it never came back. To console me, my grandma would tell me that the Chinese people that lived downstairs ate it. Yeah. No. No, she is not. She was a lovely lady, but of a different era. And I think it's ever more evident with that in mind. One more story, actually. This car wash once caught fire, and I was the one that figured out that it was on fire. As a toddler, I smelled that it was on fire, and I alerted my mom, and she went onto the balcony, saw the fire. I remember she took me outside, and I was so afraid because the sky was red. That I was just bawling my eyes out. And actually another story that I just realized. So this area right here used to be like an area that you can park. It's now a bus lane. But right here, you used to be able to park here. Anyway, my mom used to park here because this is where she lived. Anyway, she reverse parked because there were other cars. I was in the car with her. She reverse parked, but as she was reverse parking, some fuckhead zoomed in and hit the side of her car. And she lost the lawsuit because apparently if you're reverse parking, even if the other person hit you in the side, it is your fault because you were reverse parking. My mum told that story, retold that story today actually, and was still really pissed off about it. Remember when that dust storm happened in 2008 and you woke me up at 6 a.m. to tell me the world was ending? Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that. I didn't go to school that day. It genuinely looked like the world was ending. Like, legitimately. It was scary. God, just reading that comment, was that back in 2008? Holy shit. It must have been because I was in school at the time, but still. That's crazy to think about. Feels like yesterday. I went too far. Show us where you live now. I can show you where Tom lives now. Do you want me to dox Tom? I wanted so badly to work at this EB Games. But apparently it's no longer there. No, there's a bus instead. So sad. Fucking Kebab and Marubra overtook it. Which, to be fair, Kebab and Marubra is pretty good. Yeah, I know. I know. It's where I order my kebabs too. But yeah, I would have loved to work at that EB Games because it got no business. It was so quiet. I remember. So there's a Fitness First up here, right? And I used to go to this Fitness First very, very scarcely. But I went to this Fitness First for a little while. And then I started, what was it? I don't remember how I met this person. Probably online, knowing me. But I started talking to this girl. Her name was Tamara. And she was not, what I would consider attractive. But anyway. I remember what the fuck? This fucking truck is in the way every turn I get. I remember she came from like Penrith or something. And we met literally right here. And we had a date. Anyway, the reason I bring up Fitness First is people knew me from the Fitness First. And the fitness trainer walked past me and started saying shit like, "Hey, he's got a date," like just making fun of me, like playfully. And I remember getting so incredibly embarrassed that I basically just like took her hand and just like walked us away. And I just went, like I just took her to my house, just home. We just went home. Also, I remember, yeah, what do you mean I'm that type of guy? I took her from McDonald's. No, I wasn't going to skip the pleasantries, but I got embarrassed, and so we just left. I just walked home. Anyway, I remember sitting right here with Tom in the window, just playing, what was that game on the phone? There was like a really big event with this game. Like everyone was playing it. Do you remember what I'm talking about, Tom? It was like specifically me and you sitting there in the McDonald's just playing this game. It was a really stupid game. And everybody played it for like 2 weeks because we wanted to know what was in the box. The Bottle Mart is the place I bought my first bottle of vodka when I turned 18, and then the person working there didn't ask me for my ID, so I got mad because I really wanted to show my ID. This is so stupid. I've technically doxed Tom on this street before, because I showed everyone where Tom gets his burgers from, which, if you didn't know, quickly. There. Inferno Grill, everybody. Tommy's a regular. Also, my rebound girlfriend, Erin, used to work at this disgusting fruit market. I haven't ordered from them in a few months. I don't know why you do, because I've tried them a couple of times and they've not been good. Chris loves Inferno Grill, but I hate it. Like it's just cholesterol in a burger. I've heard bad things about that place. Honestly, like, it's just a mess. It's a tower this big, like a tower burger this big. It's just a mess. So much cheese. Like, I love cheese, but it's just disgusting. It's like a sloppy Joe, but times 10 and straight to the heart. You just get a generic burger. Like, even then though, like, what's the generic burger from Inferno Grill? Like, it's always been. Every time I've gone, I've never seen just a normal burger. Mum loves the Greek nachos from there. Ugh. Yuck. What even is a Greek nacho? Oh wait, I went the wrong way. Oops. We are approaching the prison. Is that prison the one that everyone says is haunted? I know there's one in the area we live, which is like almost like a tourist attraction. Like, you can go in and it's supposedly abandoned and haunted. I don't know if it's on the beach. I don't know much about it, but all I remember is people go to it to be frightened. So, I'm taking us to where my grandfather used to live after the place I showed you earlier. Cemetery I live next to in Brisbane is apparently the most haunted place in Australia. Why is it the most haunted place in Australia? Surely it wasn't this far down. Oh, it is. So, this is where my grandfather used to live. Another place my grandfather used to live. And this drain, one day, just look at this fucking disgusting drain. Look at all that shit around that drain. One day, I walked home from school. Walking down on the home stretch, rainy day, didn't know there was a drain here, slipped, saw a clown, no, slipped and landed in a massive puddle of literal shit, actual sewage. Picked myself up, walked home, My grandfather lived in this apartment complex here, or like this block right here. I walked in. I remember him being happy to see me, and then his immediate reaction was, "You smell like shit, get out of my house!" And my grandma was there, and she was like, she came out and she was like, "What's wrong with you? Why do you smell like that?" And I was crying. I fell in the sewage. And she like helped me and let me get back in the house. Which tree was the one that you planted, Izzy? Was it this one? The one that goes all across his balcony? You reckon it's still there in 2021? Oof. It looks nicer in 2021. But I don't think it's there anymore. RIP. Is that a ghost? What is that? Is that a person? Boo, you can't go to the back entrance. Yeah, it really did look like a person wearing a hat, just staring at the camera. Honestly, in this neighborhood as well, I wouldn't doubt it. It was still there in 2014. That's pretty pog. I want to see if I can remember where what I'm thinking of is. The directions. Let's go to 2007, see if this is more accurate to my memory. It was up here. So my grandfather and I used to go for walks all the time. As you can see, I love walking. I've always loved walking. And we used to come this way. There's some pretty rich houses here. Which is weird because they're all surrounded by housing commission and just like poor people. But this house right here. So, one day, me and my grandpa, we were walking up. We were going to the beach, which is literally right here. Anyway, it was a hot day in summer. We were walking up, and there was three young girls, selling lemonade. And they were shouting at us. Now, I've told you all the stories about my grandma being like really standoffish and just like not really kind to anyone except for family, right? Well, my grandfather was worse, and sometimes even like bad to family. Most times. Anyway, he literally told those kids to fuck off. Which really sucks because I actually wanted the lemonade. Oh. I kept asking him, Giddo, can we have the lemonade, please? And he's just like, no, shut up, we're going to the beach. After the walk, I think it was the same day, I told my grandpa, I'll be back. I'm just gonna go and get the lemonade. And he was like, oh, whatever, do whatever the fuck you want. So I came back literally looking for the lemonade stall. And they were gone, obviously, because it was a couple hours after that. I assumed they might have lived here because it was just outside. So I went and knocked on the door. And then sure enough, the girl, I assume the oldest girl, answered. And she was like, oh, you're the kid from earlier. And I'm like, yeah, I literally just want lemonade. I can pay for it. They made me a lemonade glass. And then after that, they invited me to a party. And I was still, like, pretty young. Maybe about 14. And two of them were, like, older than me or maybe my age. And they were both really hot. And so I was like, yeah, I'll go. And I wanted somebody to go with me. I don't remember if I asked you, Tom. But I definitely asked one of my old friends, Michael. And he was like, yeah, I can come with you. I can go. Half an hour before I'm getting ready to go to this party that night, Michael calls and he's like, yeah, I can't go. My mom won't let me. I was so devastated and I just refused to go without a friend. So I didn't end up going. Sad times. Sad times. I want to see what this looks like in 2021. Exactly the same. So this is Maroubra Beach, and if we ever are allowed to do to leave the house again one day, whenever lockdown ends, I want to make it my mission to start from this end of the beach, walk, and do a coastal walk all the way to Bondi Junction. Not Junction, Bondi Beach. And stream it. That's my mission. One day. You basically walk all the way up here. Let's see if I can follow the coastal walk.
Often I'm upset that I cannot fall in love, but I guess this avoids the stress of falling out of it. Are you tired of me yet? I'm a little sick right now, but I swear when I'm ready I will fly us out of here.
Oh, what the fuck? Boo!
Cut my hair. To make you stare. I'll hide my chest and I'll figure out a way to get us out of here.
There we go. Boo! Another. God damn it. Is this. What beach is this? This isn't Coogee. This is the one in between Coogee and Maroubra. I want to say Bronte, but I don't think so. I think Bronte's much further away. It would be closer to Bondi. Clovelly? That sounds right.
Cause I can feel ghosts and ghouls wrapping my head, but I don't wanna fall asleep just yet.
Tamarama. I've genuinely never heard of Tamarama before.
My eyes went dark. I don't know where.
Wait, that's not even a beach. It's just rocks. For fuck's sake. Hold on, I'm afraid that I'm gonna get doxxed if I zoom out. Okay, we're at Coogee now. Woo. Gordon's Bay. Never heard of Gordon's Bay before. Right. Let me go on the road. Okay, it won't let me back on the road. I guess I'm taking the path. So this is Coogee Beach. This is what my cat was named after. I think it was somewhere over here was where they had like a mirage of what's her name? Mary, Jesus's mother. There was something about that in Coogee Beach. It was like a miracle. Turns out it was a gas leak. In fact, can we... Coogee Beach, Mary Vision. No worries, Izzy. Thank you so much for being here for so long. And thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Was there ever like footage of this?
The end of the pier. On the day the Virgin Mary came to Coogee, they flew the banners down the big parade. The pilgrims came to feast at the Mecca of the East, and everybody shouted hip-hooray. Now gather round, I'll tell you all a story. Don't worry, I'll not lecture you or preach. In Coogee there's...
Is that all this is? Yep. Alright, we're not watching that.
Jesus Christ surfs down at Bondi.
fuck is this? Where's the footage, damn you? My grandma went to this and actually says that she saw it. Walking from Coogee Beach to Randwick Town Centre in Sydney, Australia. What the hell is this channel? Stealing my content. More locations.
I'm just a fool to keep on chasing after nothing great. You're just a fool to keep pretending that you're...
Do you remember the ice cream incident in Coogee? The only thing that I can remember about something like that is someone ate an ice cream, but it wasn't an ice cream, it was shit. Like, someone replaced it with shit. Like an employee. Is that right? Is that what we're talking about? Or is there something else? Look at that guy. Staring at the cam. That's interesting. I'm gonna watch this channel in my off time. Alright. Someone wiped their ass with a hot dog bun. That sounds vaguely familiar, yes. Well, I don't know if it's appropriate for me to raid someone after this stream. If you've got any suggestions, let me know, but I don't think I'm gonna raid anybody. But I think I am just gonna end stream there, because I might as well get some sleep now. It's 1 AM. But regardless, whether we raid someone or not, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. And eventually we'll get back to normal streams. I don't know when.
Excellent.
We'll have to wait and see. Thank you for the follow, Tula. You know what? Considering you're the only person to follow, let's turn off follow mode. Let's see what you have to say. Have a good rest. Thank you. Thank you for the stream. Enjoyed listening. Well, I'm glad that I could share a little bit about my grandma's life with the world, and she'll be missed, but the memories are always there. No worries, Izzy. No worries at all. Alright. See you later, guys.